Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of MDafterDark. I'm Michael Hernan here with Andre Tanter as always, and once again we are separated again since I am back, 10 minutes away, back in my house in a different location today than Dre. So we're gonna be separated again. So this will be the norm. So back to normal, basically. So, Dre, how has Dre been doing?
I'm tired. Long day. Of course, the long day was the best day. I made a good amount of money on my parlays today. The TikTok play hit. Um, yeah. Other than that, I'm tired again. Thank God I don't have to work in the morning, or I would be dead. But it's time to make a podcast. Short, sports day today. Only like literally 11 professional sports games in total.
Yeah, definitely a very short day in action today, and we're gonna get you right to that in the beginning. So first off, we're gonna start off with the game of the day today. So the Los Angeles Lakers have defeated the Indiana Pacers today, 120 to 119, after LeBron James's game-winning tip. Our glorious King LeBron, no glaze. That's just what everyone calls him. Yeah, but anyways, looking at the stats,
Sorry.
LeBron.
Stop.
Yeah, so anyways, the Lakers were actually led by Luka Doncic, who had 34 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds today. Shot 6 for 10 from the 3-point line and 11 for 21 from the field, including 6 for 7 at the free throw line. So a very good shooting night for Luka. And then also just another thing to know, all 5 of the Lakers starting 5 all scored double digits today. So something notable headline there. And then Austin Reeves had 24 points today. He with 5 assists and 4 rebounds. Reeves only had 24 points off of 1 of 8 for 3-point shooting and 8 for 16 as a whole from the field. But he went 7 for 7 for the free throw line. So great free throw shooting for Austin Reeves, who had struggled from the 3-point line. Also, Rui Hachimura had 14 points. He went 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. And then LeBron James and Jackson Hayes each had 13 points, but LeBron had 13 rebounds and 7 assists. He struggled tonight from the 3-point line, went 0 for 3, and then 4 for 12 from the field. 5 for 5 for free throws, though, was LeBron. And then LeBron, of course, had that game-winning putback. And then off the bench was Dorian Finney-Smith. He had 11 points off the bench as well. And something interesting I found out is that Jared Vanderbilt had no points today, but had a plus minus of 24.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Dalton Connect had 3 points. He had a plus minus of plus 18. That's just something interesting that I found out there. And then leading the way for the Pacers was Benedict Mathurin, who had 23 points off the bench today. He only shot 2 for 5 at the 3-point line, but 7 for 16 from the field. But 7 for 8 on the free throw line was basically the headliner of this scoring. And also, all 5 of the Pacers' starting 5 also scored in double digits. Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, and Miles Turner each had 16 points. But get this, Tyrese Halliburton, 18 assists.
And
Wow.
what, 16 points?
Yeah, 16 points, 18 assists. My goodness,
No
that's a
out
stat line.
assisted points. That's crazy.
Yeah, my goodness. Halliburton, he struggled for the 3-point line today. 1 for 9 today on 7 for 16 shooting. And then also Miles Turner had 16 points and 12 rebounds to go along with that. Miles Turner, 4 for 5 from 3 today. At one point, he hit 3 3-pointers in a row. He
You're
also shot 6
welcome
for
for
them.
that stat.
Yeah, Dre texted me that, so that's the only reason why I noticed that. And then Pascal Siakam had 15 points with 6 rebounds, and Aaron Nesmith had 13 points. And off the bench for the Pacers as well, it was Obi Toppin had 10 points. So, Dre, your thoughts about this thriller in Indy?
Really fun game to watch. I watched almost every second of it. because I was wanting to make sure Benedict Mathurin got his rebounds. His line was so low today, so I took it easily, and that was part of the play of the day, and it hit. But we'll talk about that later. And Luka went absolutely bonkers. He was like 3 for 4 to start the game from three, and it was just like he was pulling up from like 5 feet beyond the line, just like his slow, methodical, just not even trying 3-pointer and just banging it. And LeBron, it was so fun to watch him miss in the first half, but then he started making stuff in the second. So I don't know.
And of course, that Tippin as well. Just wow. Something, and also something that jumped out to me for the Lakers was that, of course, the Pacers outscored the Lakers in the first quarter, 33-28. But then the Lakers actually controlled most of it ever since they outscored the Pacers 40-22 in the second quarter. So they had control for the whole entire game until the Pacers eventually cut it back to like a one-score game eventually in the third quarter and made things close again, went on that run, hit their shots. But then eventually the Pacers had the lead, but then, of course, good old LeBron. LeBron did a service to us Bucks fans today, but that didn't matter because results
You
happened
guys were
later.
cooked.
Yeah,
Honestly,
we'll
with the
get.
roster you guys have, without Giannis or Dame, I'm pretty sure the Bulls could beat you guys. Even honestly, the Bulls could probably beat the Bucks with Giannis if everybody was healthy on the Bucks except for Dame. And then when does Bobby Portis come back from suspension?
I think early April.
Damn. But yeah, the
Yeah, but
Bulls. I mean, the Bulls have been playing good. But hey, the Bulls get to play the Lakers tomorrow, so.
that's nice. We'll get to that Bucks result later. But that'll be coming up soon. As that's it for the game of the day. As the Lakers defeated the Pacers 120-119. The Lakers improved to 44-28, and the Pacers fall to 42-30 on the season. So, Dre, do you want to recap us with the rest of the NBA action we got today?
I got you. Our first game of the day, the Washington Wizards defeated the Philadelphia 76ers 119-114. Overall, they are led by Alex Sarr with 24 points and 7 rebounds. Justin Champagny had 18 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. Jordan Poole with 18 points. Jalen Martin, who had a great game, the 20-year-old who was on a two-way with the Nets, got signed by the Wizards. He's been playing pretty well. In 32 minutes, 12 points, 6 rebounds. Tristan Vucevic with 17. And then, yeah, that's about it. I mean, Colby Jones had 8. A.J. Johnson had 9. And Carlton Carrington had 9. And then for the 76ers, very well-rounded stat line for everybody. Quentin Grimes with 22. Gershon Yabusele with 21 and 8 rebounds. Justin Edwards with a double-double, 19 and 10. Ricky Council with 13. Jared Butler with 14. And Jeff Doughton with 11. Overall, the Wizards shot 50% to the 76ers 43. The Wizards shot 40% from the three-point line compared to the 76ers 30. 5 for 12 from the free throw line. 41% for the Wizards, 80% for the 76ers. Wizards won the rebounding battle by 2, and the Wizards turned the ball over 6 more times, even though they won. So that's kind of surprising. Anything on that, Michael?
Basically, just a tank bowl matchup because these two teams at this point are just fighting for draft picks as the 76ers basically just shut down Joel Embiid for the entire year, and Paul George is out for the year. So, yeah, basically just a tank bowl and that stuff. But overall, like what I see from the Wizards so far, I mean, Alex Sarr has definitely become a really good player for the Wizards. And then I also Justin Champagne, Jordan Poole had good nights as well. And overall, I just think this Wizards team, I mean, this year, of course, they're not having the greatest year, of course, but they got a solid foundation that they can build off of, especially with Alex Sarr. They got this young core I really like down there. And of course, they're probably going to get, and Chris Middleton didn't play tonight. I don't think Chris Middleton will probably leave in the offseason. But overall, I mean, I think the Wizards, and they proved it again tonight, are building a nice foundation down there in DC. They got a bright future ahead of themselves once they get out this year.
I agree. They're gonna have a top 3 pick, I would assume. So it's Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, or Ace Bailey. And who knows? Maybe you want to match up those guys with Alex Sarr, and you got yourself a pretty good squad. Our next game is the Raptors defeating the Nets 116-86. The Raptors outscored the Nets every quarter, even when the Raptors had all of their backups in the entire fourth quarter. They still outscored them 23-18, and I literally looked, and the Nets had their starters in. That is depressing. Overall, the Raptors were led by Orlando Robinson, former Miami Heat. He had 23 points, 12 rebounds. R.J. Barrett and Scotty Barnes both had 15. Jonathan Mogbo with 16 points. Ochai Agbaji with 12 points and 8 rebounds. Jamal Shed with 7 points and 8 assists. And then Jacoby Walter with 11 points. And then for the Nets, they were led by Nick Claxton with 22 points, 11 rebounds. Zaire Williams with 13, and Jalen Wilson with 10. And then Keon Johnson had 8. Trenton Watford, Dariq Whitehead both had 9. And then Maxwell Lewis, D'Angelo Russell, and Noah Clowney all had 5. Very low percentage game, 43% for the Raptors to the 35% of the Nets. Nets shot 19.5% from the three-point line, 8 for 41, and the Raptors shot 30% at 10 of 33. They both shot around 85% from the free throw line. The Raptors destroyed the rebounds 63-43 and turned the ball over 8 less times. I'm pretty sure the Raptors could have turned the ball over 25 times and still would have won this game. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna take your opinion on that game because that game was just sad. If I'm gonna be honest, I mean,
yeah,
other than yeah,
just another tank ball, pretty much.
literally,
Gone a
like
disaster.
there's nothing to even say about that. It literally wouldn't even be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, our
Yeah.
next game was the Clippers and the Knicks. The Clippers win 126-113. They were led by James Harden with 26, 6, and 6. Kawhi Leonard had a double-double, 27 points, 10 rebounds. Norman Powell with 19 points. Ivica Zubac with a double-double, 18 and 10. Chris Dunn with 9 points. Derrick Jones Jr. with 12 and 6, former Chicago Bull. And then Ben Simmons, 2 points, 8 rebounds. Damn. The Knicks were led by Karl Anthony Towns at 34 and 14, a double-double. OG Anunoby had 28 points. Mikal Bridges was 17, and Cameron Payne, who only played the first half, he got hurt and sat out the second half, and he was subbed in for by Tyler Kolek, who had 7 assists off the bench. Overall, pretty sad showing for the Knicks, even though they shot 50%. Both teams shot around 50%. Clippers got them, though, in the three-point department, 53% to the 38% of the Knicks. And then the free throws were kind of mid, 83% for the Clippers, 72% for the Knicks. Clippers won the rebounding battle, and there was only 14 total turnovers this game. So it was just, I don't even know, maybe it was the free throws. But it doesn't even seem like the Knicks played a bad game. I mean, 9 turnovers, not even double digits, and you lose by 13. What happened? I mean, I guess the Clippers did hit 16 threes and only 30 attempts. I mean, but the Knicks hit 13. So it's like, I don't even know. It's like all of these stats just look so similar. 45 field goals to 42, 16 to 13, 20 free throws to 16. I mean, I don't even know how the Knicks lost, but yeah. What's your opinion on that, Michael?
Basically, the Clippers, I mean, they're legit. I mean, they came into Madison Square Garden and had basically, basically a performance. And basically, what's the word I'm trying to think of? A statement. Yeah, they made a statement today in the Garden. Basically, like the Clippers, like this is a team you do not want to face in the playoffs. Like, of course, if everybody's healthy, I'm saying this team could definitely make a run for someone's money. I mean, you got guys like Kawhi Leonard, James Harden scoring consistently. Ivica Zubac can drop you a double-double every single night. Norman Powell is a reliable 3-point shooter as well. And then also their bench was also pretty solid too. And also something that noticed me from the bench is that the Knicks only had a total of 12 bench points. Derrick Jones Jr. from the bench for the Clippers had 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if I'm looking at the Knicks here, like I know like most of them like okay, I see like most of them like Anton Watson, former Buck Marjan Beauchamp, only played a minute, but you look at Mitchell Robinson, he didn't score at all. Yeah, he had 2 rebounds and assists and a block, and then
He's coming
DeLone
off an
Wright.
injury.
Yeah, oh yeah, Robinson is coming off an injury. That's right. Minutes restrictions, that makes sense. DeLone Wright, 12 minutes, he didn't score at all. Tyler Kolek, 19 minutes, and he didn't score at all. He was 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. Like, you look at the bench. I think the bench was basically the determining factor of this game. I know that the Knicks had like more scores. Of course, Carl Anthony Towns led all scorers. But I'm looking at the Knicks, like, there's got to be more production. And I know Robinson's going to get healthy or get more healthy, but I'm looking at this bench, and I just think that's the glaring flaw for the Knicks right now is their bench and also winning the big game as well. So, but the Knicks go to Milwaukee on Friday. I'll definitely be there. So we'll see how they can turn around for Milwaukee.
I mean, they're also missing Jalen Brunson, so that means they're bringing one of their bench players off the bench to start.
That's true. That's true. Yep.
All right, our final game that isn't either live or we went over is the Bucks and the Nuggets. The Nuggets won this game 117.
I
Excuse me. Um, Jokic in his return just dropped a slight 39, 10, and 10 triple double. Michael Porter, 23 points and 10 rebounds, double. Christian Braun, 19 points, 10 rebounds, double. Jamal Murray, 17 points. Peyton Watson, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Um, let's see. The only starter to score less than 15 points was Aaron Gordon, who only played 19 minutes. And then Peyton Watson chipped in for him with 34 minutes. So yeah. Then the Bucks, they only played 3, 6. They only played 8 guys. Torian Prince had 15. Kyle Kuzma with 10. Brooke Lopez led their team with 26. Gary Trent had 16. Kevin Porter with 12. AJ Green with 15, all 3-pointers. And then Ryan Rollins, 18 minutes, 17 points. Very solid from him. He's been a good pickup from Washington. Well, I guess he was a Washington Wizard, but then they cut him. So, um, overall, Nuggets and Bucks both shot above 50%. They both shot 16. They both literally shot 16 for 37 from 3. That's crazy. Oh my god. Horrible free throw shooting, 69 to 59%. The Bucks won that. Rebounding, Nuggets won 46 to 36, and the Nuggets had 2 less turnovers at 11 to 9. What's your opinion on that one, Michael?
I mean, the Bucks played their hardest. I mean, I'm looking at the scoreboard. I mean, they were down by like 3 a moment ago, but the Nuggets just went on that run. But my thing is that of course you don't have Dame and you don't have Giannis, but honestly, I mean, the thing about the Bucks team is just they gotta get healthy. Like the Dame injury, the blood clot, that sucks. And then Giannis having something with his foot, and it's just this team always finds ways to get injured at the end of the year. And it's just, I don't know. It's just, we just got to find a way to stay healthy. And I know Dame should be back in April. Giannis hopefully can play Friday so I can watch him in person. But, anyways, like, this Bucks team has got to stay healthy, like I keep saying. But I really like Brooke Lopez stepping up. He was leading scorer for the Bucks with 26. Likewise, for Ryan Rollins. AJ Green had a good day. Torian Prince, Kyle Kuzma, Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter Jr. all had double digits. I mean, all the stars for the Bucks had double digits, and some of those guys are mainly bench players. So I'm saying, like, the Bucks, they tried. They tried for what we had. But something I just don't understand is why is Andre Jackson Jr. not getting minutes? Like, I don't understand that. Like, he was a starter at the beginning of the year, and now he's not playing at all. I mean, I don't think he should be starting, but he should at least be getting some minutes. Like he's a guy that you put in there, like bring off like energy, be the energy guy off their bench and play well defensively. And I just don't know why he's not playing. But anyways, overall, can't be disappointed for the Bucks. I mean, they tried tonight. I mean, the Nuggets, they're finally getting healthy with Jamal Murray and the Nikola Jokic coming back. But yeah, tonight, like the Bucks tried, but the Nuggets were just a better team tonight.
Literally. Yeah. That's it for our NBA games that are that have been played. If you want to just go over the Suns and Celtics with a minute and 6 seconds left, Kristaps Porzingis led the way for the Celtics with 30 points, 8 rebounds. Drew Holiday and Derek White and Al Horford all had 16, but Al Horford had a double-double, 16-10. Jaylen Brown with 24, Sam Hauser with 11. And did Baylor Shireman go to Creighton?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then the only person to score more than 15 points for the Suns was Kevin Durant with 30, and then Devin Booker to double-double of 14 and 10. Literally only two notable guys. Celtics shot 50% to the Suns 41%. The Celtics shot better from the three-point line than the Suns did in total, 42 to 41. And then the Suns shot 32% from three, 90% to 81% for the Celtics at the free throw line, 47 to 38 rebounding battle. The Celtics won, and then turnover battle 10 to 13. The Suns lost. And the final 132-102. There we go. There's the NBA. Michael, you got any final statements?
I mean, the Celtics, they just dominated the whole entire night. I mean, they just proved once again why they're one of the best teams in the league. And the Suns, I mean, Devin Booker shot 1 for 6 from the or three. Again, Devin Booker just struggled from the 3-point line again. And yeah, he did record 10 assists, but mainly that's the thing. And I just think overall, this Celtics team, they play really great defensively, and they just showed it again tonight, holding the Suns to 102. And plus the Celtics, that offense too. Like people, like including me, are like people usually think of the Celtics as a defensive minded team, but the Celtics also have a really good offense, and they showed both sides of the ball tonight. Overall, just a complete team effort from the C's. Overall, great performance from them.
All right, Michael, you're going to take it away for the NHL, or are we going to go to the 3 college basketball games we had today?
Let's go NHL first. Oh wait. Actually, let's go college basketball first because there's some games that are still having to finish up. Bruins and Ducks. Right now, I know they're both blowouts, but we'll get to them in a moment. So I'm gonna go briefly with the college basketball games that happened today. Starting off with the CBI championship game or the college basketball invitational championship game. Illinois State is your 2025 CBI champions. They defeated Cleveland State tonight 79 to 68. Leading the way for the Redbirds was Caden Bozer, who had 20 points off the bench. Wow, how about this? 7 for 7 from the field. Perfect. 4 for 4 from 3-point line. Perfect. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Perfect. Just a perfect day for Caden Bozer. How about that? And then also scoring for Illinois State was Chase Walker and Johnny Kinzinger from De Pere, Wisconsin. They both had 13 points today. Walker had 13 points and 6 rebounds. Kinzinger had 13 points and 7 rebounds. And then also for Illinois State, Ty Pence and Dalton Banks each had 11 points for the Redbirds. And then for Cleveland State, they were led by Tevin Smith with 16 points, and Isaac Abidi and Todd Stavesky had 10 points each. And then coming off the bench for the Vikings, Jashawn Stevenson and Chase Robinson each had 11 points tonight for Cleveland State. Overall, the shooting Illinois State shot the ball pretty well. Shot 55.3% from the field, 52.4% from three, and then Cleveland State shot 41.7% from the field, and Cleveland State shot an abysmal 5 for 20 from the 3-point line, which is a total of 25%. So, Dre, did you catch any of the CBI championship?
I did not, sadly. I did look at the UAB game a little bit. So when you get to that, I'll contribute what I have.
All right. Alrighty, so again, Illinois State's congrats to them for being the 2025 CBI champions. And usually, teams that tend to win CBI champions usually then later make deep runs to the NIT and even the NCAA tournament. Like VCU, they won the CBI in 2010. They would then make the Final Four their next year in 2011, and then Loyola Chicago won the CBI in 2017, and then they made their Cinderella story Final Four run with Sister Jean becoming an icon. Oh, speaking of Loyola Chicago, they won their NIT quarterfinal game against Kent State tonight, 72-62. And fun fact, Sister Jean is still alive at 105 years old. How
That
about that?
that is nuts.
Yeah. Wow. Meanwhile, leading the way for the Ramblers today was Miles Rubin. He had 18 points and 9 rebounds today. Shot 8 for 9 from the field. Jaden Dawson had 13 points for the Ramblers, and then Sheldon Edwards Jr. had 12 points as well for Loyola Chicago. Leading the way for Kent State was Jalen Sullinger, who had 12 points. Delreco Gillespie had 10 points. Clam Medley had 10 points as well. And then off the bench for Kent State was Jamal Sumlin with 11 points. So again, Loyola Chicago on their way to the NIT semifinals to take on Chattanooga. A big good matchup there. And then UC Irvine defeated UAB in overtime today, 81-77. Leading the way for the Anteaters was Devin Tillis, who had 22 points and 11 rebounds. And then the college version of Nikola Jokic, Bent Lukden, had 18 points and 10 rebounds. And then Jurian Dixon had 16 points, and Miles Che had 13 points for the Anteaters. And then leading the way for UAB was Christian Coleman, who had 21 points and 14 rebounds. And then Yaxel Lendenberg had 13 points and 17 rebounds. How about that? Two guys for UAB getting a double-double tonight, convincingly, too. Alejandro Vasquez for UAB also had 14 points. Jabori McGee had 12 points for the Blazers as well. So, Dre, your thought on this overtime win for UC Irvine?
I don't know. I kind of like UAB. I like that Lindenberg guy, but yeah, Lookton, he's great, but he won't sadly make it to the league. I don't think so. Other than that, pretty good game, and yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, so with that, UC Irvine will now play North Texas in the NIT semifinals. Those games will take place, I believe, next Tuesday in Indianapolis. So NIT semifinals. So you're going to India. You got stuff to do. You got March Madness is in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil, and then over the weekend, and then stick around for Tuesday and Thursday for the NIT semifinals and championship going on in the Hinkle Fieldhouse. Anyways, that was your college basketball update, and now let's get you to the NHL. Let's get you to the NHL update. There was only a total of 4 games today, so let's get through them quick. So the Canucks defeated the Islanders today, 5-2. The scoring today for the Canucks were Kiefer Sherwood, who had 2 goals and assist today for the Canucks. And then also scoring goals were Atal Ratty and Teddy Bluger. And then assisting for the Canucks today were Jake DeBrusk, Connor Garland, Drew O'Connor had 2 assists today. Pia Suter also had 2 assists. And then Philip Roenick and Marcus Peterson had an assist as well. Oh, yeah, Derek Forbert had a goal as well for the Canucks. In that today for the Canucks, Thatcher Demko had a really good performance for them tonight, having 26 saves, 28 saves attempts, allowing 2 goals, and a save percentage of 929. So overall, Thatcher Demko back to doing Thatcher Demko things. And then meanwhile, leading the way for the Isles were Casey Cizikas, who had a goal and assist, and then also scoring the goal for the Islanders were Tony DeAngelo. And then assisting on them were Jean Gabriel Pagot, and that's pretty much it for the Islanders. And then in net today, Ilya Sorokin struggled today. He had 15 saves out of 19 save attempts, allowing 4 goals and having a 789 save percentage. And then in relief for Sorokin was Marcus Hogberg, allowing 0 goals, having 5 saves, 5 save attempts, of course, with a 100 save percentage. And then moving on to Dre's game of the night in the NHL, the Devils defeated the Blackhawks today 5-3. And then leading the way for the Devils today, scoring goals were Nathan Bastian, Timo Meyer, Dawson Mercer, Stefan Noesen, and Andre Palat. Dawson Mercer also assisted on a goal. And then assisting as well, Jesper Bratt had 2 assists today for the Devils. Also assisting were Nico Hisshire and Thomas Tatar and Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes had 3 assists today. What a performance there from Luke Hughes, the defenseman. And then in net for the Devils today was Jacob Markstrom. Had a decent day. 21 saves out of 24 save attempts, allowing 3 goals with an 875 save percentage. So, okay day for Markstrom. His team got the win. And then meanwhile, for the Blackhawks, scoring goals today were Tyler Bertuzzi, Ilya Mikheyev, and Frank Nazar, who had a goal each. And then assisting was Ryan Donato, who had 2 assists. And then Nick Foligno, Teuvo Teravainen, and Artyom Levshunov, who had 2 assists for the Blackhawks. Artyom Levshunov was the 2nd overall pick in this year's draft. So Levshunov performing well for the Blackhawks. And then in net tonight for the Blackhawks was Spencer Knight, who had an abysmal night tonight. 15 saves out of 19 save attempts, allowing 4 goals with a 789 save percentage. So, Dre, your thoughts on the Blackhawks game or the Devils, any side?
Blackhawks suck. Really hope they can get it together next year. It'd be nice to actually have a successful hockey team again in Chicago. But other than that, they have the youth, they have the guys. They just need to put it all together now. They fired their coach this year, so hopefully they can pick up a good coach in the offseason. And yeah, the Devils, I don't really know much about them other than they beat the Blackhawks today. So
Yeah, of course, the Blackhawks still a young team, so not time to panic. They're in Chicago yet. And meanwhile, we just had a game finish up. The Anaheim Ducks absolutely destroyed the Boston Bruins tonight, 6-2. The season continues to get worse for the Bruins. Oh boy. Um, leading the way for the Ducks today was Leo Carlson, who had 2 goals today. And also scoring goals for the Ducks were Cutter Gauthier, Mason McTavish, Nikita Nesterenko, and Jackson Lacombe, who had a goal and assist as well. And then assisting for the Ducks were Alex Killorn, who had 2 assists for the Ducks today. And then Drew Hellison had an assist as well. And then in net today for the Ducks was John Gibson, who had 23 saves out of 25 save attempts, allowing 2 goals with a 920 save percentage. Gibson, very solid night for the Ducks. And then meanwhile, leading the way for the Bruins was Morgan Geekie with a goal and assist today. And also scoring for the Bruins was David Pastrnak. He had a goal as well. And then assisting was Pavel Zacha, who had the lone assist, and Elias Lindholm as well, assisting for the Boston Bruins. And then in net today for the Bruins was Jonas Korpisalo, and Korpisalo struggled today. 31 saves out of 37 save attempts, allowing 6 goals and having a save percentage of .838. So Again, the Ducks defeat the Bruins 6-2, and the Bruins' playoff hopes just continues to fade every day. But anyways, there's still a game going on right now with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third period. The Stars are currently up on the Oilers 4-1. So we'll uh, keep giving you updates on that as the podcast episode continues. And with that, what time is it, Dre?
11:41. It's parlay time. Yeah, I only have a few picks for tomorrow. Um, so one of my favorite picks is actually Paul Skeens higher than 1.5 first inning strikeouts. Um, I don't think the Marlins will be able to touch this guy. I put in a parlay for Paul Skeens to have 11 strikeouts and for Javier Baez to not get a total base. I think Skeens on opening day could just run through this team. And then a couple other picks I like. Spencer Dinwiddie for 6 assists. His past 5, he's had 7, 12, 7, 12, 7. That's not even a single 6. He's been over this line by at least 1 in every single of his last 5 games, and he's playing Orlando. And I just watched the Orlando game, and they were giving up. It was against the Lakers. They were giving up hella assists, and also Dyson Daniels for 5 assists. He only had 3 against the 76ers in his second to last game, but he just had a double-double with assists. He just had 6 assists against the Warriors, and then he had 7 and 7 against Charlotte and Brooklyn. And Miami isn't a super good defensive team, especially with their guards. So unless you want to put Davion Mitchell on him, and then obviously you have to go like Paulo Banchero over 28.5 points just because he's been on such a heater, and Tyrese Halliburton, his assist line is still only 10.5 after dropping 18. I feel like he'll keep it up tomorrow against a bad team in the Wizards. And then Walker Kessler's rebound line is only 9.5. I mean, in the games where he's played 30 minutes, he's cleared this line in every single game basically. And then if you haven't yet, Underdog, they are doing a um, giveaway. If you predict the farthest home run hitter on opening day, you get a split of I think it's $1 million. So like if you chose Matt Mervis of the Marlins and he hits a 500-foot home run, you'd probably win $1 million, which could happen. Somebody that nobody thinks could hit a home run could hit a home run 450 feet, and that could be the longest opening day, and nobody could get the money. But I chose Fernando Tatis. I didn't realize he was playing against Chris Sale, but I feel like Chris Sale's going to have a down year, especially after how hyped he was last year. I feel like he could have a down year, and Tatis might take him yard on day 1, and I could get $1 million. No, I wish. But yeah, I took Fernando Tatis for a total base because all you have to do is choose one player. You don't have to put them to hit a home run. I chose him for a total base, and then William Contreras for a total base against the Yankees. I also like Kai Jones over 7 rebounds and Zach Edey over 7 rebounds. He's hit this in 4 of his last 5, and the only game he didn't hit this was a game against Portland where he played 10 minutes. So yeah, I like that one against OKC. I don't think Chet Holmgren will not be able to handle him, and if Isaiah Hartenstein's on him, um, he could get 7 rebounds on Isaiah Hartenstein. But it all matters on how much he plays. But overall, I'll go back to MLB. Um, I really don't have anything else for MLB. Like MLB is so hard to predict. I only put in 1 or 2 MLB parlays. So yeah, I'll probably put in a couple more tomorrow since I'm up a little bit. But other than that, I mean, if this Paul Skeens one hits for 11 strikeouts, I would go crazy. It's only for $22, but for $1, that's nuts. And then again tomorrow the Lakers play the Bulls, so get your discounted Luka Doncic pick unless he doesn't play. And there's college basketball. Michael, I need to know because you destroyed that Mark Sears pick. Great evaluation. His line was like 17. He had like 12. Um, is BYU? I didn't watch the entire Badgers game. Is BYU a fast-paced team?
Yes.
So, but his line is 21 points.
I think this BYU and Alabama is going to be a shootout.
Like a
So
100,
this
a
game,
100 type shootout.
yeah, 90s, 100s. So I would definitely
Woo!
probably take the over with Mark Sears.
Which means but Clifford Omoyui has had 10, 17, 12, 8, and 15. But if they're going to go fast paced, chuck up threes, I don't know if I want to put for him over.
Oh, BYU is going to chuck up a lot of threes.
So then you would think that maybe rebounds. What is his rebound line?
But it
Six
just
and a
depends
half,
how
and then
well.
7.5 for rebounds plus assists. I would take 7.5 for rebounds plus assists. Because
But it just depends
in
how well
three of his
BYU.
last, sorry,
I think it just depends on how well BYU shoots. Like BYU against Wisconsin, they shot the lights out. So is BYU going to struggle, or are they going to hit just like they did against Wisconsin?
mm-hmm. Then also the next game is Florida and Maryland. Allie, shut up. I think Walter Clayton over 20 points is a lock again. He has been balling during the March
He's been
Madness,
incredible.
and who's gonna stop him? Jacoby Gillespie.
No,
But also Derek Queen, his points, rebounds, and assists is 28. He only had 20. He has had okay, never mind. He's hit that, and no, he only had 21 against Northwestern. That's kind of sad. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, Cooper Flag for 22 points. Depends if Arizona can stay in the game. Tyrese Proctor is no. Oh yeah, he is. Tyrese Proctor's the one that went. If he can, I like that 15 points or like over 2.5 3-pointers made. If he can stay hot, that'll be in his sleep. Con Knuckle, I don't know about him. Kaman Maluak, he's been selling. And see, they corrected themselves. They moved his rebounds plus assists up one from his rebounds. So do not take that. Just take his rebounds. And then, did Kentucky win? I mean,
yes,
Lamont Butler for 9 points. I like that. He just dropped 14 against Illinois. There's no way he doesn't score 9 points again. He went from scoring 8 to 2 to 0 to 0 to 14. I think 9 points is good for him. But that's on Friday, so you can wait until Friday to put that in. And then oh, shut up, dog. Michigan Auburn. I mean, I don't really know much about that. And then Purdue and Houston, Trey Kaufman Wren, obviously. Who does Texas Tech play? Where was they at? Oh,
Arkansas.
Arkansas. JT Toppin. Baller. Choose him. Does he have a double double line? They don't have double doubles in college basketball. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna let the dog in. You explain what we're doing next.
All right. So next up, what we're going to be doing is we're going to give our first rendition of our mock drafts. Oh yeah, by the way, Adam Henrique just scored a goal for the Oilers, so now they are currently down 4-2 against the Dallas Stars. So just a little update there. But anyways, we're gonna do our first mock draft of the podcast. This will be MD After Dark's mock draft 1.0. So basically, what we'll be doing is, depending on how much time we have, we're at least gonna go with the first 10 picks. We might even go to the first do the whole first round, depending on how much time that we get through. So, anyways, yeah, we're gonna be picking through basically every team, and yeah, how far we get is basically depend on time. So, yeah, Dre, do you want to start things off with this mock draft?
I will. Just let me. Oh, here. Oh, enter solo draft. For the first overall pick, I don't care if he has a foot injury. Abdul Carter, he is amazing.
So, you think the Titans still have confidence with Will Levis?
Yes,
All right. Honestly, if I were I'm gonna go. If I were the Titans here, I would think that the Titans are gonna go with Cam Ward because of the relations between Brian Callahan and Will Levis. But if I were the Titans, I would build around Will Levis still. He's still young. I'll take Abdul Carter number one as well.
All right, fair enough. For number 2 for the Browns, I'm going Cam Ward. It's obvious they need a quarterback.
Yeah, same here.
All right. For our third pick, I'm going the Giants with Travis Hunter. He probably won't play both sides in college, but getting a wide receiver, Diddy.
Diddy
Getting a
strikes
wide
again.
receiver for your new quarterbacks, I think it's a good choice.
I'm in a little different direction on here. I'm gonna pick Will Campbell for the Giants
Third
because
overall.
well they did wait. Let me see if the Giants have another pick. Okay, wait. Oh,
They
they
don't
need
have another
offensive
first
line.
round pick. Hey, you go with what you want to go with.
All right. Oh, now I'm thinking here: Will Campbell or Mason Graham. Oh, because I'm gonna go Will Campbell. I think the Giants they need offensive linemen. Like their offensive lineman's been atrocious, and I think the Giants need to address this right now. I gotta go Will Campbell.
All right. For my fourth pick, I am going Will Campbell to the New England Patriots. They just got the receiver in Stefan, so they should take a offensive lineman here to protect their franchise QB in Drake May, who I am very fascinated with.
And then fourth, I'm going to go Travis Hunter to the Patriots here. I think the Patriots, depending on Travis Hunter plays wide receiver, he could be a wide receiver and also can play corner as well. The Patriots do need corners with Christian Gonzalez. You're giving me the face.
No, they don't. They don't need no corners. They have Christian
Oh, yeah.
Gonzalez. They have Jonathan Jones. No, Jack. No, which one is still on the Patriots? Is it Jonathan Jones or is it Jack Jones? I don't even know. But they have those two, and then there's plenty of corners outside of the first round. But
He can play. He can play wide receiver too.
they
I
already
mean,
just signed Stefan. What?
yeah.
I'm debating here. They have Stefan. They have what's his name? Keyshawn Butte. They have Demario Douglas. Those are 3 solid receivers right there. All right.
That is true, but Travis Hunter is. I mean, he can play both sides of the ball.
Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders are going to ruin franchises. The only reason I chose Travis Hunter for the Giants is because when your number one receiver is Darius Slayton and Wandale Robinson, there's a problem. Other than Malik Neighbors, who do they have?
Not really anybody.
Exactly. I mean, I like Wandale Robinson, but you just signed Darius Slayton to an extension? Bad. And honestly, I'm pretty sure the Giants need defensive backs more than the Patriots. I mean, the
True
Patriots
that.
safety duo is pretty damn good. You have Kyle Duggar, and I forgot the other guy's name, but well, that's my explanation. Fifth pick, I'm going Mason Graham to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their interior defensive line is horrendous. Their starting defensive tackle was Roy Robertson Harris. No, no, get out of here.
Yeah, I like Mason Graham to the Jaguars too. I agree. The Jaguars defense as a whole was just horrendous. So especially that defensive line. The Jaguars need to address that. I like Mason Graham to the Jags.
All right. I'm kind of torn here on the Raiders. I mean, obviously you have Ashton Genty, but I don't feel like they're going to take him at 6. Armand Membu out of Mizzou, not there. Honestly, if they want to win now, I'm going Tet McMillan out of Arizona, 6th
Ooh.
overall. He is
It,
a pure athlete. He is a baller.
Not a bad pick. I'm gonna go Will Johnson from Michigan to the Raiders. I think they need corners and especially that defense. So I think going Will Johnson here, I would do that for the Raiders.
I went Armand Membu for the Jets. They need offensive line help, and Yeah, I just think he's the best offensive lineman on the board, and they're going to go with him.
I agree. Basically, the main thing about the Jets is that offensive line. Main reason why Rodgers was terrible last year. Yeah, no brainer to go Membu.
Eighth overall to the Panthers. This is where I go Will Campbell, Will Johnson. Um, him and J.C. Horn will be a deadly duo to go against for the next couple of years. So that's my pick at number 8.
For the Panthers here, this is where I'm going to go Tedditor and McMillan. The Panthers, they need receivers, especially, well, just to give Bryce Young another weapon. So I'm going to go McMillan in 8.
I'm debating going Shadur Sanders here for the Saints, but I don't think they will. I'm gonna go Shemar Stewart, edge from Texas A&M.
Let's go bit. Do
I
I
mean,
go which game?
matching him up with Cam Jordan would be pretty solid.
Yeah. Shamar Stewart's basically like the textbook definition of he's either going to go this high or he's going to fall in the draft. There's like no in between. But I'm kind of torn about this pick too. Yeah, I'll go Stewart too, or why not? I think that the Saints still got a couple years left of Kamara to take Genty, but I could definitely see the Saints picking Genty, but I'll go Stewart.
My 10th pick, Chicago picks Ashton Genty. My favorite team, the Bears. Um, I think if they do this, they do end up trading DeAndre Swift, but for what is the question? He was a serviceable back last year, but I don't think he's anything special. So I think they could probably get a fifth or a sixth round pick out of him. But to just dump that cap room they spent on a running back for a rookie deal and an extra fifth or sixth round pick for the next couple of years, heck, they could get a fifth and a seventh. I'd be happy with that. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
I'm gonna go Genty too because the Bears already addressed their offensive lineman problem, and basically the only hole that they need left to fill in that offense is a running back. So yeah, I'll take Genty.
Now, this is where it gets complicated. The 49ers, what do they need to replace, and what are their weaknesses, and are those positions on the board? Um, let's see here. Honestly, I think they take a reach here, and I'm thinking they go with James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee.
Ooh,
I think he's a big guy. He's 6'5", 245. I mean, they lost the Joey Bosa sweepstakes, and if they match him with Nick Bosa on the edge, that is a dangerous duo. That's all I'm gonna say.
oh, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go Jalen Walker here, linebacker from Georgia. I think they need to really fill in that Devondre Campbell and Dre Greenlaw losses. So I think Jalen Walker to the 49ers would definitely make sense here.
Devondre Campbell lost.
Yeah,
He
okay,
left
he's
the
not.
game, and he left the game because he was in a bad mood, and they had to force an injured player to play because they didn't have anybody. I hate his attitude.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I kind of missed him when he left the Packers to go to 49ers, but then after seeing that, I'm like, oh, that's fine.
I'm gonna go back to back edges here. The Dallas Cowboys are going to take Michael Williams from Georgia.
Ooh, all right, let's see. Yeah, I'll go Michael Williams as well. I mean, him and Micah Parsons, and even like if the Cowboys just can't find a way to extend Micah Parsons, I mean, that's a good insurance pick right there.
With my 13th pick, I'm going Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle from Texas. That just patches up a big spot in the Miami offensive line, and hopefully they can keep Tua safe and keep him time to throw to his great receivers.
Yeah, I like Calvin Banks Jr., especially with Tua's injury last year. Like you said, they need offensive linemen. That's their main goal.
Are you going with the same pick?
For the Colts,
Yeah, no, for the Dolphins.
Yes. Yeah. Calvin Banks Jr. Yeah.
For the
My bad.
14th pick, I am going with Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. He can play wide receiver. He can play fullback. He can play tight end. Very versatile guy. I like him in the Colts system. I mean, you have a couple young receivers in Alec Pierce and bro, I forgot his name. Michael Pittman. Oh, Josh Downs. There we go. They have plenty of receivers. You get a good tight end in there. I mean, you have. I don't know if they still have Mo Alley Cox. If they do, that's a big red zone target. But Tyler Warren's still 6'5", and he's fast. So that's why I think they go with him.
Yeah, I like Tyler Warren too. Like you said, I remember watching Tyler Warren in college. Yeah, line him up at fullback, tight end, wide receiver. Heck, he could even throw a football. Like this guy's just an
Mm-hmm.
athlete. And I remember like one of my Hawk Talk episodes on WSCW 9170 Edge. Shameless plug there, but anyways, I mentioned that he
Shameless plug is crazy.
yeah. Yeah, I mentioned that his draft comp, I put him as Taysom Hill and everyone was shocked. But I mean, if you look at these two, I
He's
mean,
a
they're
better
basically
version of Taysom Hill.
yes, he's a much better version than Taysom Hill, but he's just a Swiss Army knife overall.
Literally,
So
lay down. All right. For 15, I am going. Oh man, I would go Malachi Starks here, but they do already have Jesse Bates and did they re-sign Justin Simmons? We're both looking it up.
yeah. Why hasn't oh wait, that was last year.
Nope, Justin Simmons. Huh, wow, 9 hours ago. Justin Simmons ready to join Las Vegas Raiders after a down season. So yeah, I'm gonna go Malachi Starks here. Aggressive safety. Um, I mean, yeah, I just like that pick all around. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm going Malachi Starks too. Basically the same exact reasons you had. And yeah.
16. I think the Cardinals are gonna reach here. Actually, no. I think they're going to take the best player on the board, Jalen Walker, linebacker out of Georgia. He falls this far. The Cardinals, who have had linebacker problems, they have a few young guys, but they failed with Isaiah Simmons. But getting a guy like this at 16, I think they have to take him here.
I'm going with James Pierce Jr. for the Cardinals. I know you took him earlier, but yeah, I think
That's a good way,
the
really.
Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals need defense, especially edge rushers. So I think James Pierce Jr. Again, like you said, he's just a monster. So yeah, I'll go James Pierce Jr.
Um, I think the Bengals take a reach here and take Tyler Booker, guard from Alabama. They need offensive line help, and there's no super good defensive guys on the board except for Derek Harmon, and I don't think they take him at 20 or 17. Sorry.
Yeah, basically the Bengals, they need defense. They need defense badly. And I'm gonna take Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle for Oregon. I think, of course, you don't know what's gonna happen with Trey Hendrickson. Are they gonna trade him or are they gonna keep him? But anyways, the Bengals need defense badly. And I got him with taking the best defensive tackle off the board for the Bengals and Derek Harmon.
Let's see here. Hmm. Seattle. They are a very mixed group. They don't need defense, so most of these guys are off the board. They did just okay. Wait, I think I know where I'm gonna go here. They did just trade DK, and they did just let go of Tyler Lockett. Matthew Golden from Texas.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the Cooper Cup signing?
I don't know. I see it. I mean, Matthew Golden had a great combine, but I think that's a three-headed monster with Smith and Jigba, Cooper Cup, and Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden is a 5'11", 191. I'm pretty sure he had one of the fastest 40s times. I'm gonna look it up right here. Matthew Golden 40 time. 4.29. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
wow.
am taking him here for Seattle.
I think the Seahawks really need to focus on offensive linemen, especially when bringing in Sam Darnold. Because if the Seahawks don't address their offensive line, Sam Darnold's going to die. And with that, I have him taking Tyler Booker, the offensive guard for Alabama.
That's where I would have gone if it wasn't for uh the Cincinnati taking him. 19 for the Buccaneers. I am gonna go Nick Eman from South Carolina, safety. They need a safety. They've been down recently. Antoine Winfield and matching him up with a 6'3", 220-pound safety. I like that a lot. Ball hawk. I mean, he hits hard. Um, he's physical. That's all you want out of a guy that's a safety, especially at 6'3", 220. Hell yeah, I want that guy on my team.
Same exact reasons I'm going Nick Eman as well. Just a great overall safety. I think him and Anton Winfield would match up great.
I just like that guy entirely, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Broncos at 20. I think they are going to go Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama. They've been struggling at the linebacker position. They did have a breakout season from,
Nick Bonito.
yeah, that guy. But he's an edge rusher. You get a athletic, what is he? 6'2", 235. Uh, he can rush the pass and he can stop the run. I just like him overall at 20. He's one of the best players still available.
With the Broncos, I'm going to take Matthew Golden. He's still available on my mock draft. So and I think the Broncos need a number two wide receiver behind Cortland Sutton. And I think Matthew Golden would fit that role really well with the Broncos.
All right. Now I'm kind of stumped here, but I'm going to go Derek Harmon, D tackle for Pittsburgh. Uh, they just struggled. I mean, they have what's his name? Cam Hayward, and TJ Watt. You get another big run stopping guy. I would say their defense is even better than it was before.
All right. You ready to potentially call me an idiot or go, whoa?
You're
You
going to go
ready?
Shadur Sanders.
Stuart Sanders. Here's why.
No. They have Justin Fields. They just signed him to an oh no, they don't. No, I'm an
Yes.
idiot. No, they went to the Jets. Oh no, I wasn't thinking. Oh,
The
never
Steelers have
mind.
yet.
Never
Steelers have yet.
mind. Derek Harmon is not going to the Steelers. Okay, never mind. I have so now with the Chargers, I'm choosing Shadur Sanders because he is my pick for the Steelers. I forgot. Justin Fields is a New York Jet. Shadur Sanders is going to the Steelers, and I have Derek Harmon filling a gap in the Chargers' defensive line. Never mind. I am so sorry. I completely forgot.
Maybe I'm not an idiot. Okay. Anyways, I
I'm the
think
idiot.
Jim Harbaugh and Colston Loveland are going to have a reunion in Los Angeles. I'm going to go with Loveland to the Chargers simply because, of
Mm,
course, because the
okay.
Chargers need a tight end, and plus Harbaugh and Loveland were awesome together in Michigan on that national title team.
And a lot of my other mock drafts I've seen, the Packers like to take Nick Eman, but I do since we have the Buccaneers taking him. I'm going Jahdae Barron on nickel DB, and he can play safety and corner. Yeah, I really like that pick for them. I mean, that's a guy I would not want to have to face on that runner up basically for Texas this year. They weren't runner up, but they were like top four.
Yeah, I'm going to pick two because here's the thing: Packers need corners badly. If I have to see Carrington Valentine play corner again for the Packers, oh boy, and see him get stepped on by Dallas Goddard like how many times? Yeah,
All right. Who's the guy that the Vikings took last year in the first round?
Dallas Turner.
Now imagine seeing Nick Scorton on the other side of the defensive line.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Imagine your quarterback lining up against Nick Scorton and Dallas Turner, bro. That'd be nasty. So I'm going Nick Scorton here at 24 for the Vikings.
Yeah, just because of that reason alone, yep, I'm going Nick Swartzen.
And I mean, my next pick for the Texans, perfect spot. I'm going Josh Simmons for the Texans.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Texans, they just traded away Laramie Tunsil, so what offensive lineman do they have left? They
Uh,
definitely need that badly. Otherwise, CJ Stroud is definitely going to die.
all right, for my next pick, I think the Rams just go with the best player on the board, Colston Loveland. Um, you just have to, if I'm being honest.
For the Rams, they're going to go. Oh, do I want to go with this? Yeah, I'll still go Jahad Campbell for linebacker from
Okay,
Alabama.
okay.
I mean, I know it's Verse breakout year, but I think him and Jahad Campbell like get our young linebacker core. I mean, I just it works. I like it.
For my next pick, the Ravens get a massive. Well, he's not really massive. If I can click on him, oh yeah, he is. He's 6'5", 312. He can play every single spot in the offensive line. He was one of the only people to stop Mike Green from whatever Marshall during the Senior Bowl. Gray Zabel will be a great addition to the Baltimore Ravens offensive line, and it'll just make Lamar just even better.
I like Gray Zabel as well for the Ravens, especially you get that interior offensive line. I think to the Ravens, I think they re-signed Ronnie Stanley. Did they?
They did. They did.
They did. Yeah. So getting Gray Zabel with Ronnie Stanley and just getting that interior offensive line together just will just make this Ravens offensive line just a better unit overall.
Yeah, they re-signed him. Okay, my next pick. The Lions are going to go Siobhan Ravel from East Carolina. I know they took Rakeshaw last year, and what's the dude's name? I already forgot.
For who?
The Lions, their rookie corner.
Ah,
Hang on, maybe I'm just stupid.
Carlton Davis,
He is
Jaron Arnold.
Terrion Arnold.
Yeah, he was a dog this year.
I know, but I mean, if you look, I mean, you have Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, Tyrion Arnold, and Ennis Rakestraw. I don't know if they re-signed Amik Robertson or Carlton Davis. Hang on.
I'm gonna go with Siobhan Ravel for the Lions as well. As you see, the Lions do need some corner
Nope,
depth.
they did not re-sign him. He plays for the New England Patriots. And let me look at Amik Robertson. He does still play for or not the Patriots, the Lions. So yeah, I'd still go Siobhan Ravel here. Another fourth corner makes it so Ennis Rakestraw was out for a while last year with injury. So if they want to have Ravel into that slot nickel area, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Um, yeah. So you said it's the same pick for you.
Yeah.
Um, for my next pick, I am going Donovan Izu Easy Iruaka from Boston College, edge for the Commanders.
Uh, I'm gonna go with Amika Agbuka from Ohio State. I think the Commanders need a number two wide receiver, especially with Terry McLaurin having a great year. I think if they draft Agbuka, it takes some pressure off of McLaurin. Because I mean, yes, they do have Debo Samuel. They did get him too, but I think just a younger guy there in the receiving core take the pressure if Debo Samuel becomes a total flop. And I think Emeka Ibuka would fill in that role great for the Commanders. So I like Ibuka there. And plus, he's more experienced too. So
I mean, people might hate me here, but I have to go Tyleek Williams from Ohio State for the Chiefs at 31 because it's just, I mean, that's just the best you can do. Um, but people are also going to hate me because for my next pick, you'll see. But yeah, what are you going with at 31?
wait, me at 31?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Tyleek Williams for the Bills as well. But the
Wait, for
Chiefs,
the Bills.
yeah, they were picked 30.
Oh, I accidentally just skipped then. So I went Walter Nolan at 30 for the Bills.
I went
My-
Tyreek Williams.
Okay, who'd you go for 31 at the Chiefs?
I'm gonna go Luther Burton. I mean, if I know, I just heard that the Xavier Worthy thing was like that was fake. Turns out that situation there, but I mean, we don't know about Rice's health yet. They did lose DeAndre Hopkins, so I think if injury concerns in that receiver room, and plus the departures of others, I think it'd be smart try to get Luther Burton in there, and plus he's fast too.
Yeah, but they also just re-signed Marquise Brown.
That is true, but how is Brown going to stay healthy?
True. This is where I took Tyreek Williams. They need interior help with Chris Jones. This is a great pick. And then who'd you go 32?
32. I'm just gonna go with the best player on the board at this point. I'm gonna go Walter Nolan, defensive tackle for the Eagles.
Okay.
I think, of course, if you get that more rotation defensive lineman, plus they lost Milton Williams to the Patriots, so yeah, I like that defensive tackle there.
I took Mike Green from Marshall. They did lose Josh Sweat to the Cardinals. So yeah, so that means Emeka and Luther Burden both fall to the second round. So a team is going to be, if this is how the draft goes, some team will be picking up a gem wide receiver 1 in the second round in Luther Burden, and Emeka, he'll be serviceable. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, and then that's all for our mock draft 1.0. So yeah, we just one more thing before we sign off here. So the Stars and Oilers game just ended a little bit closer than expected, but the Stars defeated the Oilers 4-3.
Damn,
Yeah, a lot.
they
Yeah, a
scored
lot
3
close.
goals in the third period.
Yup.
Oh, Jason Robertson hat trick in the second period.
Yep, that's right. Jason Robertson did get a hat trick in the second period, like Dre said. Yeah, great night for Robertson. Also scoring the other goal was Wyatt Johnson. He continues to have a great year for the Stars. And then assisting was Rope Hintz. He had 3 assists tonight. What a performance he had. Yeah, Jamie Benn and Mikko Rantanen also had assists. And Thomas Harley had 2 assists for the Stars as well. And then Jake Ottinger, I was praising him earlier in the night. He had like 25 saves without allowing a goal, but then he had 42 saves out of 45 save attempts, allowing the late 3 goals. I'm guessing Ottinger just said, I'm done for the night and just kind of relaxed a little bit. I don't know. But anyways, he allowed a 933 save percentage. Meanwhile, for the Oilers, they were scoring goals for them tonight was Adam Henrique, who had a goal and assist. Zach Hyman scored a goal for the Oilers, and then Corey Perry had a goal and assist for the Oilers. Fun fact, I believe he was a former Dallas Star. And then Evan Bochard had 2 assists for the Oilers, and then Matthias Ekholm and Jake Wellman had assists for the Oilers as well. And then goaltending tonight for the Oilers, Stuart Skinner. He struggled tonight.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, 17 saves out of 21 saves attempts, allowing 4 goals and an 8-10 save percentage. Abysmal. And then coming in relief for Skinner, Calvin Pickard. He did a lot better. 3 saves, 3 saves attempts, no goals allowed, 1 save percentage. So yeah. So again, the Stars to beat the Oilers. Sucks for the Minnesota Wild fan as the Stars continue to create separation from them and the Avalanche. Stars improve to 46-21-4, and the Oilers fall to 41-21 or 25-5. So yeah, we thought it was going to be a short episode today, but the mock draft took a little
That
bit, but
was
that's all
fun,
right.
though. I liked that. That was fun.
Yeah, we'll probably revisit that if we don't have anything else to talk about. But that we got a busy day tomorrow with March Madness Sweet
Yeah.
16 and opening day tomorrow, so definitely no mock draft tomorrow. But Anyways, that will do it for today's episode of MD After Dark. I'm Michael Hurd alongside with Andre Tainer there. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great night and peace out.